Welcome to the Double D Trailers podcast. Today we are discussing why your horse won't load in the trailer. It's a common topic that comes up frequently. Clients reach out to us, and so let's dive in and just explore. I think the first thing to point out, just the psychology, equine psychology. Horses, they are a natural flight animal. You try to put them inside an enclosed space, like AKA a horse trailer, that can certainly trigger their flight instincts. It can lead to anxiety and resistance over time. I tend to call it PTSD. You've had a bad experience and it was traumatic, and then you have these triggers, and I think that's what happens with horses. Horses, they're designed by God to roam in open green pastures. Were not designed to be shoved inside of a horse trailer. So certainly understandable why, oftentimes we have difficulty loading our horses. They have four basic needs. They need light, they need space, they need air, and they need safety. They need to feel safe. We did in one of our blogs an interview with Kelly Sigler. She is a 3-star Pirelli professional. And I quote, Kelly says, when horses see a horse trailer, their instinct tells them not to get trapped. So, some common loading challenges we see: just a horse that's reluctant to enter a trailer. It can be due to fear, past negative experiences, or just simply a lack of understanding, maybe not good direction. Other challenges, the rearing up or kicking, they may react to stress or pressure this way, and that's certainly dangerous for the horse and handler. Refusal to back up, common for inexperienced horses or those with negative trailer associations. We see that frequently. Sensitivity to noise and visual cues. Horses, they can easily be spooked by loud noises or sudden movements. I had a standard bred one time that came from a racetrack out of Maryland, and really good riding, racking horse. I love that horse. And I could be riding down through a field or a pasture, though, and she would see maybe a tin can and the sunlight shine off the tin can. Let me just tell you, you better be holding on, because she was going to jump. So, visual cues can definitely set off a horse if they've had negative experience. Lack of confidence. Some horses may lack confidence in their ability to load, or just be afraid of the trailer itself. And then you may have horses with physical limitations, such as arthritis or injuries, and they're just having difficulty loading, right? So what's the solution? Solutions are an effective loading technique and the right horse trailer, okay? So here's some tips. Gradual exposure, and this is just feedback that we've received from customers over time. And, there's lots of resources online that, you guys can, and I'm sure there's some courses, how to load a horse and reduce stress and anxiety. I think gradual exposure is one way to do that. So the first time your horse encounters the trailer, it shouldn't be on the day of travel. Allow your horse to enter the space at his own pace and reward curiosity with treats and praise. Positive reinforcement techniques, those help to build trust and confidence. You can continue to reward calm behavior and small steps of progress. Patience and understanding. You've got to go at your horse's pace. You can't rush them. You can't force them into the trailer. It's just not going to work. Let's see, maybe practice some groundwork exercises so that you can improve your horse's responsiveness and confidence. Use desensitization techniques to help your horse overcome fears and anxieties associated with the trailer. I'm getting tongue-tied today. You want to make sure that you have a safe and comfortable environment. Your trailer's clean, it's well ventilated, there's no distractions in it. And, if you just have that calm, reassuring environment, it can significantly reduce the stress of your horse. Also, avoid forceful methods. Don't use harsh language. Don't yell at your horse. It can certainly just lead to even more fear and resistance. Now, that would be maybe just some suggestions for effective loading techniques. Key important Another important component of the equation is the right horse trailer. What does the right horse trailer mean? And, we have, and I'll give you some testimonials here at the end. I've had so many clients reach out to me over the years, and they have brand ABCD, whatever trailer that it is with whatever layout, and they have a horse that is just scarred. They don't like the load. They're very panicky. We've had clients that it took hours to get their horse loaded. So we've sort of figured out over the years what works and what doesn't work. One of the most popular things that we've seen for over 10 years now is the reverse load layout. For whatever reason, their horses they just like to turn away from the direction of travel with their hind end facing, toward the direction of travel. And we've seen that time and time again. If you load a horse untethered in an open stock trailer, 9 times out of 10, they're going to turn at a slant, head facing kind of toward the back, butt facing toward the front. Lots of opinions as to why horses do that, but I've never asked a horse, and I don't really get caught up in the opinion side, but it does seem to really help reduce the stress while hauling. Even if it's not a reverse layout, that's not a cure-all for everything. If it's a slant load trailer, a lot of trailers have that. I call it a dangerous rear saddle compartment. Again, horses don't like confined spaces. So if you're trying to load in a trailer that has a rear tack, the tack's in the way. It's a small, narrow door the horse has to load through. Lots of trailers just have small windows, so there's poor lighting on the inside. There's poor ventilation. They're very tight. They don't have a spacious interior. Perhaps the flooring's very loud, when the horse is walking on it, things of that nature. So, one of the solutions that we developed years ago was the Safe Tack, the swing out saddle compartment. And the advantage to that is you have the entire back of the trailer open and available for loading and unloading. So I won't go too much into that. Don't want to sound like an infomercial to you guys, but certainly if it's a slant, try to find something that has that wide open space. It works so much better. If it's a straight load, we have clients reach out and they're like, hey, my horse just doesn't like to load in the straight load. And I can see that because, let's say you get one guy in there and tie his head off and you walk out the back. When you're trying to load horse number 2, it's sort of a hallway effect, right? You only have about, 31 inches in between the pads, so 2.5 feet. And it's just a small area for a horse to walk up in there. So if you have a difficult loader, maybe try some fringe trailers that have a different layout or a different design, and see if that helps. Now, I mentioned that I would throw out some testimonials, so those are all on our site, but one that comes to mind, Bonnie, it says, all of the training and loading techniques just didn't work. And she had quite a challenge. It was a 4-year-old mare who had developed a scary habit of bolting out of the trailer backwards. It led to a serious accident. It causing a hematoma that took 6 months to heal. And, despite Bonnie's effort at training her mare to back up calmly, she used various obstacles in an open pasture. She just couldn't get her to back safely out of the trailer. That all changed when Bonnie switched. She bought a Safe Tack Reverse 3-horse gooseneck from us. One thing that I like about that particular model is it has a double side ramp. So you have independent access to all 3 horses, which you typically don't see in a slant. But in this one, you do. You can load the guy in the front, the rear, or the side, and same. You can unload either one without having to disturb another horse. And because of that double side ramp, it's just a huge area, a huge, very inviting area at the front of the trailer. You walk in through the side ramp, horse faces in a reverse configuration, which seems to be, the way that they prefer to stand and calmer. So when she switched to the safe tack reverse to 3-horse, I kid you not, her mare walked right in, and it was an instant change. And I quote Bonnie, she says she adjusted to the new trailer immediately, and it was just amazing. Trisha, she had a safe tack reverse 2-horse gooseneck, and quote from her, the day I received my trailer, I took my problem loader to it, and to my surprise, the horse that usually puts up a 45-minute fight self-loaded and happily loads every time now. Now, this doesn't mean that we have some sort of magic dust on our trailers that's going to make a horse load. It's something, it's all comes down to the design of the trailer, and most manufacturers can accomplish this. For whatever reason, they just don't. So whatever brand of trailer that you purchase or whatever that you like, you just want to make sure that it's built with horse safety first, okay? Last testimonial that comes to mind, Penny. There's a video on our site from Penny up in Ohio. It's a fantastic story. But she told us that she had missed out on so many shows and events. She couldn't get her horses to load in her old trailer. They would refuse altogether. They'd take forever to load. And in one case, break things in the trailer, and they'd have to turn around and go back home. Penny told us that loading her horses in her Double D trailer was almost easy right from the get-go. She too has the 3-horse reverse load double side ramp, and she says the rear-facing option is why I think they're so unstressed about getting on and off, because they never have to back up. That always seemed so stressful when they were backing out of our old trailer. Hope this was helpful to you guys. Any questions or comments, just reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Thanks so much.